5D Mystery School.
Blessings. Blessings, beautiful people. Great to see you. Saludas. ¿Cómo estás? Oh, I'm charging my phone, so if my phone falls over, it's only because I got it's charging on the cord. I'm in an empty apartment right now, and I don't got shit, so I wasn't even gonna lie. I wasn't gonna go live today, but I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just let me go live. Blessings, Kayla. Good to see you. Big Terror, blessings. For the month of May, y'all gotta call me Astro. Cause I'll be rocking my Astro stash all month. Holla if you hear me. Miss Gina, good to see you. Good to see you. Sierra Siren, blessings. Did I just move? Yes, I just moved. So, yeah, I'm sitting in an empty apartment, and that's what it is. That's what it is. So we have a couple topics that we can talk about today, right? And we're going to get into those. For the announcement, couple things we should talk about, right? For the announcement, make sure you have your solar panels. Make sure you have you can hear how empty it is, right? Yeah, this is an empty apartment. Make sure you have your solar panels. Make sure you have your seeds. The stash is thriving. Yeah, make sure you have your seeds. Thank you for the congrats. I appreciate that. Your locks are growing. Yes, I have a secret ingredient. Thank you, everybody, for the congrats. I appreciate that. That means a lot. So yeah, for the announcements, just make sure you stock up, people. I ain't playing with you. All right, so for the topics, we can talk about the Code of America. Emphasis on that. We can talk about, we talked about that. We can talk about fake friends and fake family. No, we talked about that. Is the U.S. still safe for us in artificial intelligence? So we can talk about the Code of America. Is the U.S. still safe for us in artificial intelligence? Thank you, Kimmy, for the badge early. Yes. All right. So would you want to talk about artificial intelligence? You know what? Let's just jump into the Code of America. So I was talking to the tribe the other day about the Code of America. Just think back to elementary school. So every single day you would say the Pledge of Allegiance, right? Just think back. I don't know if you had to say it in your school, but for my school, we had to have our hand over our heart, and we had to say the Pledge of Allegiance every single day. You had to know it, you had to recite it, you got in trouble if you sat down. And just think to somebody brought this up in the group the other day, is that they had you drink fluoride in elementary school. And you know what fluoride does to your pineal gland, right? So fluoride calcifies your pineal gland. Yes, fluoride calcifies your pineal gland. And your pineal gland is the light of the world. It's the Christ within, the Christ consciousness, the optic thalamus. So they know to calcify that because they don't want you knowing who you are, because their matrix wouldn't thrive if you knew who you were, right? The matrix wouldn't thrive if you had knowledge of self. That's why you have to know thyself for your best defense. But anyway, so you go from school, you walk outside of your school, and within like, not even 5-10 minutes, you have a church. And then you go to church. Me and my sisters, my sisters and I, we went to church like 4 days a week. We prayed on Wednesdays for like hours. We had to speak in tongues and get saved and all that, get dunked in a pool of water, call it a baptism, and it's like when you go to school and you take these standardized tests, if you don't pass the test, meaning if you don't regurgitate their beliefs, meaning their beliefs become your beliefs, and this is why outside of school, the conversations you have is centered around the beliefs that you learned in school. Anyway, so their test is based on instilling their beliefs in you. And you almost like you get in trouble if you don't pass the test, like you're called dumb if you don't pass the test. So your intelligence, essentially your intelligence is based on how well you know the knowledge they're teaching you, whether you believe that Christopher Columbus discovered America, because that was on the test. If you don't put that on the test, then you're dumb, right? That's not fair. Okay, so out of school, you go to church, and if you don't accept Jesus as your Jehovah, as your Lord and Savior, then you're like a sinner. You see where it's like you have your back up against the wall, the school system, the church system. What's another system? Just think how all systems are like authoritarian, and their beliefs have to become your beliefs, or else you are rebelling against the system. Hello, I'm a soul rebel. Yes, it never sat well with me. Right. I got in trouble all the time because I didn't want to say the Pledge of Allegiance. I was Colin Kaepernick before there was a Colin Kaepernick. Okay? I'm sure there's other people up in here. Kanye was born before me, so he's probably one of them. The food and nutrition system. Exactly. They're putting chemicals in the food and nutrition system to calcify your pineal gland. The water that hits your body when you take a shower, what do you think that's doing? So it's like everything, and having knowledge of self, honestly, is the best way that you can mentally break out of this system, because this is a mental universe. Rewind. This is a mental universe. Hello. So, the Code of America. Briefly, not too long ago, I watched a couple of episodes of The Handmaid's Tale. I'm not sure if anybody's ever seen it here, but I watched The Handmaid's Tale and I was like, boy, what? This is a documentary. Lauren said, working full time until 65, never had time to deprogram. That's what they want, like Lauren. That's what they want, Lo. They want you to work, never question the system. Look twice before you cross the road. And in some places, you still get in trouble for jaywalking. Just think how silly that is. Okay. Wow. It's like we're being babysat. I love Handmaid's Tale. Like, I stopped watching Handmaid's Tale when she could have got away and she, like, let them go and she didn't get in the van. I was like, nah, bro, I can't do this. They could have ended the season right there. So I stopped watching it. I don't know what happened after that. But when I was watching it, I was like, this is a documentary because we're like 2 clicks away from martial law. Comparatively to other places, other countries, we are like, you know, we have at least the illusion of freedom. All right, June be pissing me off. Yeah, I couldn't stand her. I was like, I need to get off this show. This ain't good for my mental health. Yeah, but so I want to talk about solutions real quick. Let me segue into solutions because we can talk about the problems all day long, right? But the solutions are buy some land. Buy some land. Because think about how much you pay for rent. You're probably going to pay on the, you know, affordable end, you'll probably be paying like $12,000 a year. Blessings, Gloria. You'll probably be paying like $12,000 a year for rent. You can take that $12,000 and buy you a home from Home Depot, or take that $12,000 and buy some land. Hello. Buy some land. They're not making any more of it. So buy some land, get you a tiny home, reinvent what living looks like to you. By the way, anybody wants to come up on stage and talk at any point, feel free. Feel free. Okay, so buy some land, because think of it this way. You're going to be paying rent every single month to somebody else. Guaranteed. Unless you take control of it. The only way to take control of it would be to buy land and never pay rent again. Pass that land down to your children so your children would never have to worry about paying rent. So they can afford, not college. I think college stops with the millennials. I don't know, and probably the Gen Zers. But in the future, in the near future, they won't be going to college. They'll be putting on VR headsets, and that'll be like schooling. Don't believe me, just watch. So, yeah, it's important to I was just thinking about something, right? Like, the way that we know learning today, the way that we know education today, somebody say college is done. Let me pin that, because that's exactly where I'm going with this. The way that we know college today, education today, going from 12 years a slave, right? From elementary school until you graduate high school, that's 12 years in the slave system. So once you get out, it's like then you have to pay to learn more to be known as qualified. And now it's become obviously apparent that you can go online to YouTube University and find out just as much, if not more, than what you learn in school for free. So the future of schooling is going to be free. Blessings, LP. Yes, the stash is here. It's the Astro Stash for the month of May, limited time only. Those loans are slavery. Yes, the loans are slavery. Exactly. Those are the chains around our necks. Yeah, 12 years a slave. That's what it is. They still got the cuffs on me, but I ain't paying that shit. What you gonna do? Repo my brain? Bruh. Anyway, so yeah, it's a finely woven system You get out of college or you get out of high school, out of your 12 years of slavery, and then you have a choice, right, to go into the system that they have finally woven, or you could just make your own path. Like, I don't know how deep y'all want to get tonight, but let's get there. This is like, look around you. The stash is hot. Astro stash. Limited time only. Look around you. I mean, you probably can't see the binary code, but this is a matrix. This is a matrix. Prove that it's not. Prove that it's not, right? You can't, like, boy, bring me Bill Nye, who's got a bachelor degree just like me. Bring me Neil deGrasse Tyson. Nobody can prove that we don't live in a simulation. The stash gotta have a matching cape. That is a good idea. Anyway, so, and it's becoming more and more. I mean, think of the glitches, right? And I'm not being hypothetical here. I'm being quite literal. I'm being quite serious. Now you guys can see that, quote unquote, scientists are teetering on the edge of saying, flat out saying that we live in a simulation. They're saying, oh, we live in a non-local universe. Oh, we find binary code in nature. Like, they keep telling you in so many different ways. And the thing is, I don't think that anybody wants to act like they care, because if they do act like they care, then there comes the pressing issue of what are we going to do about it? It's like, oh, okay, you got all this knowledge about this and that, but what are you going to do about it? Then that becomes a scary rabbit hole, because nobody wants to get out of their comfort zone enough to really actually do something about it. And, you know, how would you go about doing anything about it? Have meetings in your town, like try to fly a spaceship up against the firmament. They've already done that several times, and you see how that's turned out. So I just think that if you start to look back, and this is why in most, if not all of my lectures, I look at ancient civilizations, because in many ways, at least on a mental plane, from a mental perspective, they were more advanced than we are, because spirituality was more prominent than technology. If not, then if they were like equal, then spirituality would have been 51%, you know, and then technology would have been 49%. How do you feel about the flat earth theory? Are you new here? I know I've seen you before. Oh my one. I wouldn't say like flat earth per se. I would say like a flat plane. Peace, Chadney. I would say like, Chadney, you'll come back up on stage? Lo, you gonna come up on stage? Yeah, I know I had to call y'all out. I wouldn't say like a flat earth per se. I would say like a flat plane. Like a plane of existence, right? Because something can be both flat and hollow at the same time, like a swimming pool. So you have like, think of like frequencies, and let me see if I can pen that question so people can know what the hell I'm talking about. Let's see. So I wouldn't, yeah. So like, think in terms of like frequencies, right? Like turning a dial on a radio station. You know what I mean? You want to go to like WJLB 103.3 to 107.9. You're just gonna have to turn your radio dial to go through a couple stations, and in between those stations, you're gonna get like that, you know, like that static sound right? You guys know what I'm talking about, that static sound in between radio stations. Okay, so keep that in your mind. When you're watching TV, you know, when you are turning in between channels, you get like that static noise. Check your inbox. Okay, I'll check my inbox. You get like those static channels. Me and my sisters used to call it like ants racing. You know, like the gray screen with like the little specks. Okay, so on a radio station, you have like the static noise. On a TV set, you have like the static channels. Y'all know what the hell I'm talking about? Right? Okay. So both of those are using frequencies. Okay? Frequencies. Frequent. It happens frequently. Frequencies. Okay. So we are tuned in to a certain frequency here on Earth. We are living in digital avatars. You might not know that your body is a digital avatar, but just start at go back like 2 years of my lectures and just start there. Yeah. And I talk about a lot how your body is a battery, right? Your body is a battery. Actually, no, go back like 3 years. Your body is a battery. So, your body is digital, right? Your body is electric. Your blood, your red blood cells, they're electric. Your brain is electric. You're following? Electric. Okay. So your body is a receiver. It receives the frequency of the third density, third dimension. Okay? That's how you're able to tune in to the third density. Okay. However, you could go higher in frequency. Your brain is built for that. Your body? Okay. So you're tuned into this frequency. There are other Earths tuned into other frequencies, all within the same construct. There's several different layers. We're just on this layer. You can call it like Middle Earth. Below us, you have like, you can call it like Inner Earth, but it's just another plane. And then below that, you have another plane. Blessings, Jolette. And then above us, you have another plane. And then above that, you have another plane. I'll let you guess how many planes there are. Okay? Seventh heaven. Okay, so there are that many planes of existence. And we only call the plane above us heaven because it's above us. Because your body has to match the frequency of heaven's gate to enter into that realm, that frequency. Watch this show or watch this movie on Netflix called Time Trap. Time Trap. Somebody put that in the comments. Time Trap. Okay. So this is why when your soul leaves your physical body, your receiver, your digital avatar. That's why that film Avatar is important. I haven't seen the last one yet, though. Maybe we need to watch that on film night. Anyway, when your soul leaves your blessings, KB, thank you for the badge. When your soul leaves this physical avatar, let's say your soul is weighed in a way. Look at the Egyptian hieroglyphics. Think of Anubis. Think of weighing your heart on a scale against a feather. Is your heart lighter than okay. What have you done in your life? Have you done good by people? Have you hurt people? Do you have a lot of karma? Because that determines if your soul is going to come back, right? It's like the snake eating its tail. You're coming back again. Okay? So most of us are on our last lives, right? Your frequency has to surpass the speed of light in order to get the hell up out of here, right? It's levels to this. At least 42. That's another topic for another day. 42 levels to this. So when people say like they like you go to hell, in a way, since you have your etheric body, your mental body, your spiritual body, your physical body, right? In a way you do, because let's say you're a murderer all throughout your life, right? Like, and your soul leaves this body and you are at a very low frequency, like a rock, right? You're at a very low frequency. Then you're not probably going to come back to a human body because you haven't earned this human body, because you're not vibrating at the frequency of a human body. So you have to go lower than the human body. You're downgraded. You done bad, you downgrade. You done good, you upgrade. Your spirit guides have upgraded. That's why they have been given the opportunity to be a spirit guide. You follow me? It's levels to this. So you have your higher self. People always say like, oh, my higher self, that's your oversoul, right? Your oversoul is connected to the other yous, right? But you, the person watching this video, is only connected to this frequency of this earth, while the other yous are living in parallel universes. You follow me? So this is why sometimes we say like, oh man, I had deja vu. Yeah, you took a little peek into the other you's life and you saw something happen before it happened by milliseconds. And your past is somebody else's reality. Man, y'all not ready for that. If the past and present and future are all happen simultaneously, is your past just a memory or is it somebody else's reality? I'll let you marinate on that. When you dream, are you time traveling? When you dream, are you time traveling? You ever you ever rise up from a dream and first of all, you ever break up with somebody in a dream? Yo, that shit hurts. And you rise up out of your dream, you're just like, yo, I know it was a dream, but damn. Like that hurt a little bit. For my feelers, for my dream psychics, we got a couple dream psychics up in here. A lot of you dream psychics, like, side note, a lot of y'all, if you got secrets, don't sleep next to a dream psychic. Okay, I'm just gonna put that out there. Disclaimer. So here's something funny. Have you ever seen the show Sense8 on Netflix? Have you ever seen it? If not, then I would highly recommend that. Because Sense8 is touching on something on a micro scale that's really on a macro universal cosmic scale. Because think of the string theory, right? When you astro project, right? Your body is tied to your astral body is tied to your physical body by a cord, by a string. So take that same concept and think of you connected to the other yous by this cord that you can't see. And you might think, how is that possible? A cord extending out of my body that I can't see. Yeah, you can't see your chakras. You can't see your Merkaba, but it's there. Hello. So, this is why goosebumps are unexplained, in my personal opinion. Thank you for the badge. LP, I knew you was here, Dream Psychic. This is why I believe goosebumps are unexplained, because I personally believe goosebumps are connected to the other yous, connected to, it's like, I heard that like twins, when one twin gets hurt, the other one can feel it. So like, think of when you're going through something, the other you might get goosebumps because of the close proximity to you, right? And vice versa. When another you is going through something, you might be able to see it in your dream. I've always felt this way. So then, what separates the worlds? Oh, somebody already said it. You already ahead of me. Lena Horn. Frequencies. Frequency separates our worlds, right? Frequency separates our worlds. Because you might think like, man, how is it possible for another me to be living in the same construct as me and me not see them? They're tapped into another frequency. Just go pick up a vintage radio station, or a radio, not a radio station. Go pick up a vintage radio and just plug it in and go through the dials. You know how many radio stations there are in the air? You have XM radio, you have FM, AM. Okay, so and within XM by itself, you have thousands of channels. So just think about how, if you have thousands of channels between XM, AM, and FM, how many different realities can be in the same construct if you have thousands of different radio stations in the same box? I'll let you ponder on that. Got some hair. I'll let you ponder on that. So, we're separated by frequencies. And you can feel it sometimes. Matter of fact, you can see it sometimes. You ever see... Okay, so if the past, present, and future, okay, simultaneously, and it's all happening on a loop, right? Think about a loop. Think about a vinyl record player. I can't wait till mine arrives in the mail. Anyway, think about a vinyl record player. You know how you can take the needle and you can just pick up and go to different like sections? That's how like reality is like happening, right? Like, think of a cassette, how the tape is just going, but you can rewind it, right? Like a CD, how you can press play, you can rewind it. And it's all like different songs. Well, think about time loop being that way. Think about our time loop being that way. And we have a autonomous universe that is controlled by what we call planetary energies. Saturn, Jupiter, Pluto, Mars, Venus. And when these planetary energies are placed in certain positions on what we call the firmament, then it's like it's a timer for certain things to like go off, like what we call comets, meteors, tidal waves, natural disasters. Are you following? So it seems as though we are living in a breathing, natural, organic type of universe, but it's what we know as organic, because think about what we are. Side note, we are finely woven machines. We like to look at artificial intelligence, but what are we? You don't want to go down that rabbit hole. A lot of different ancient civilizations have depictions of us being manufactured like we are artificial intelligence. Think about melatonin, think about DMT, that whole system. Okay? So, we're living in a breathing, organic universe, but what we know as organic, right? Because I tweeted something the other day. It's like, what makes a seed grow? You put, all right, KB, you put the seed in the soil, but what makes the seed grow? Hello? Is soil just magic? Is soil just magic? Or is it the electromagnetic field? I think we might be getting warmer. Because when a volcano erupts, you see electricity, right? Okay. You got thunder and lightning from the sky, right? As above, so below. Electromagnetic field. So seems as though we are living in an electric universe. We have electric bodies. We eat electric food. You put your feet in the ground, you charge up like a battery. You put your feet in the ocean, you charge up like a battery. You go to sleep, your body recharges itself. So seems as though we are artificial intelligent avatars housing souls composed of photons, lights. Our bodies can be engineered. Our souls come through to the receiver, through the crown chakra, into the body. I don't want anybody to have an existential life crisis, but it is what it is. Y'all said y'all want to go down this rabbit hole, so let's go deeper. Hope you brought some rope. Just think about it. Just think about how finely tuned your body is. Think about how finely tuned your body is. Scary. Even everything down to conception. It's just like when Neo meets the architect, you know? Where do babies come from? That is a valid question, y'all. Where do babies come from? Babies are smart as hell. They be asking the questions that really matter. Babies are brave. They don't care. They want to know this shit. And they're going to ask you, what were you doing on top of mommy? Is that where I came from? You know? But no, seriously. That it goes along with what I'm talking about. Where do babies come from? How do we get back into the matrix? Why is the Ouroboros everywhere? Why do I keep saying Ouroboros? sound like Herbie gets this. Like, I'm gonna sound like this until y'all know what it is. Y'all are here because apparently y'all are ready to hear the message, and I'm just a vessel. So you come back because it's you ever heard of the Van Allen belt? If not, Google it real quick on your phone or your computer. The Van Allen belt, if you Google it, it looks like an electric force field, right? That is what keeps your soul here. And you might think, what is the astral realm? What is the astral realm? Don't be fooled by the white light. Okay, anyway, let me not get too far sidetracked. So, the Van Allen belt is like an electric force field, and it keeps your soul here. That is how the reincarnation loop works. And I just made a video about this, right? That they have, so the human body is like, think of like Apple, the iPhone like 3. These androids, these robots is what they're considering to be like the iPhone 50, okay? The iPhone 3 receives signals from the electromagnetic field, radio frequencies. That's how you can make phone calls. So the iPhone 3 goes out of style, you bring in an iPhone 4, it does the same thing. It receives radio, okay? You're following. I know y'all following, you're smart as hell. Okay, think of the human body. It receives radio frequencies. Thoughts. Where do thoughts come from? I don't know, my headphones turned off. Wait a minute, 1 second. Did my headphones die? Oh no. Can y'all hear me? Mic check. I could have swore I just charged these bad boys. What the hell? Okay. So where do thoughts come from? Oh yeah, these bad boys are dead. So thoughts come from like the thought radio, okay? So you receive these thoughts. Telepathy works. That's how you know when somebody's calling. You're like, oh, it's my mom. You haven't even looked at the phone yet, but you know it's your mom. This is how you psychics, y'all clairvoyants, clairtangency, all of y'all. This is how y'all got y'all gifts, right? Because y'all receive y'all gifts because y'all are more tapped into these frequencies. Okay. So you take out the human body and you bring in an android body and you make it with the same mechanisms to receive radio frequencies, and then you feed it real human emotions by, how do you do this? Snapchat filters, Instagram filters, TikTok filters. So that way it's learning billions of faces by the second, every single day, 24/7. It's learning how to twerk and twerk and twerk, because y'all be twerking every day on here. And it's learning like different human emotions, different faces by the things that we upload. And it has the billions and billions and billions of different examples to work with, because we're uploading content every single day, myself included. So it learns our facial expressions. It learns our inflections in our voice. It learns our sarcasm. It learns our, you get what I'm saying? Our location and everything. So it's like they will try to replace the human race. I don't think it would be successful at all. But they already have like billions of androids on lock, like just waiting, right? This is why the job cuts are coming, everything to like kind of replace humans. And then we're going to move into this this era of not working, universal basic income. It's going to be the artificial intelligence era for a while. You already know where that's going. Okay. So take a look at what's happening with, and by the way, this is supposed to be a class discussion, so if anybody wants to come up here, you are more than welcome. But just think about what's happening with fertility, right? iRobot, yeah, iRobot. Think about what's happening with fertility, and how the birth rate is decreasing, and how they're now offering artificial intelligent babies. Do y'all see where that's going? Or I don't even have to say it because y'all see where that's going. So the human birth rate is decreasing, but your solution is artificial intelligent babies. And now look, y'all know that Rebecca in the boonies, who's always wanted a child but could never conceive, will go and buy artificial intelligence baby or adopt one when they become available. Y'all know this. I don't even got to tell you. So they're going to be used, and it's going to become more of a artificial intelligence type of society. But the silver lining of that is with Pluto in Aquarius for the next 20 years, there's going to be a coming together like we've never seen in our lifetime. That is, you can look at that with whatever perspective you want to, but the good side of it is that your real tribe is here. You're going to be able, I think that it's going to be, actually I kind of know, I just have a soul knowing that we had the Great Depression, we had the Industrial Revolution, all of these different names, right? We're going to have a great exploration. We're going to have a great exploration. We're going to have the great imagination. We're going to have something that has to deal with like the great replacement, but it's going to be the great replacement and then the great exploration, right? And this is going to give more people time to imagine. And we're moving into this time where the arts is going to be at the top of the top. We have been so focused on business, right? Because Pluto has been in Capricorn. So we have been so focused on business because when Pluto hops into a sign, Pluto wants to marry that sign. Pluto is hella clingy, right? So we've been in Pluto and Capricorn for the past 20 years. So it's been like, everybody's been so like, yeah, I got to get the bag. Yeah, let me get the Lamborghini, right? But now we're moving into this time where it's like, yo, do you want to paint together? Do you want to go sit by the pond and talk about the stars? Do you want to, whatever your thing is, you're going to have more time to do it because Pluto's going to be in Aquarius. So you're going to be exploring, backpacking through wherever you're backpacking at, and you're going to be able to just do 11th house things, right? Be surrounded by your true people, not your fake and phony work focused, get the money focused, Capricorn focused people. I don't got no problems with Capricorn. I'm just saying that's what it's been for the past 20 years. Now, since we're controlled by these planetary energies, these luminaries, y'all know when Mercury's in retrograde, like the way you're feeling right now, Mercury's conjuncting with Uranus and Taurus, right, at 18 degrees. So y'all feeling that energy. We're about to lose a lot of people due to this 18-degree energy, but I'm not going to go too far into that. But y'all can see that we are controlled. This electric universe, this holographic universe is controlled mainly by these planetary energies that become the deities in every single ancient civilization. Zeus, Jesus, Hades, you name it. it's these planetary energies that control us every day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Literally every day is named after a deity, a planetary energy. So our entire matrix is controlled. Our bodies, since our bodies are receivers, and when you look up at the sky, you might see Mars is like this vibrating ball of energy. That vibrating ball of energy is put there because it has a specific purpose. Jupiter is that size because it affects the human body in a certain way. Saturn is that size because it affects the human body. It's not these big ass planets. They're like these like energetic bodies on the firmament that control us. That's why when it goes into retrograde, when it slows down, it has an effect on us, because Mercury, that vibrating ball of energy, controls communications, right? You know how you can have a remote control to control your TV, and if you try to take your remote control and control your laptop, you won't, because your remote control, those radio frequencies won't be able to control your MacBook. Well, Neptune controls certain things because it's a remote control, and the frequency that comes from that remote control can control certain things in our society. Same thing with Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, you name it. These are like, they are like the biggest balls of frequency up there, and they're sending down these codes that control us in certain ways. And that's why the moon has to do with your mom, the fourth house, your family, because you come through the electromagnetic field, right? You come through the astral connection through the moon and through your mom. Through the moon, through your mom, through the moon, through your mom, through the moon, through your mom, through the moon, through your mom. You feel me? If you gonna have to sing that song, then think of that's how the human soul goes. Through the moon, through your mom, through the moon, through your mom, through the moon, through your mom. Okay? So, that's why, just a quick side note, the white light that you see at the end of death, that is like the holographic entrance to the moon's like gateway, right? The astral realm is just an extension that is controlled by the moon. I know y'all know this. The astral realm is just a connection, a cosmic segue that is controlled by the moon, that links up with the woman's portal, the woman's matrix. The woman's vagina is a receiver that receives those codes from the moon. The child selects you due to a soul contract. Your vagina has like what do you call it? Fucking location signals on it, like a GPS. Beep, 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 beep. The soul comes to your vagina. You are the host of that baby because you were selected, right? Your body's a receiver. It receives those codes from the moon. Think of the phases of the moon and think of when most babies are born. Exactly, soul contracts. Britney's Wonderland, soul contracts. Yeah. So, one of the best things that you can do so that you are aware of what's happening every single day is learn about, what the hell? What you talking about? Whose man is this? Talking about what about dick? Anyway, the best thing that you can do to know what's happening around you every single day is to learn about signs and symbols. To learn about signs and symbols every single day. they are bombarding your subconscious mind. You know, when you go see a movie, when you go see a film, because there's a difference. When you go see a film, do you know the film is mostly produced for your subconscious mind? That's why when you leave the movie theater, the main character is impressed on you. Like, you want to act like Superman when you go see, like, you know, Superman film. That's because your subconscious mind has been activated because there's signs and symbols in the movie. So yes, my phone is not charged. Let me unplug it. So we are living in a mental universe. Everything is mental, including you, but not like the crazy mental, even though I don't like that word, but you know what I mean. The only reason you are seeing this video is because this is what your brain is telling you that is happening. It literally is what it is. Jordan Maxwell can teach you all about science. Look him up. Yes, Jordan Maxwell is a beast. I don't want to say beast anymore. Jordan Maxwell is a blessing when it comes to signs and symbols. But I would implore you to go to your nearest library or a bookstore and just read yourself. Or just go to YouTube and, you know, yeah, Jordan is fire. But stand on your own 2 feet as well. You know, you can believe what I'm saying, but always verify what I'm saying, right? Because I can be telling you anything, but, like, I don't care who it is. Like, verify what they're telling you. Because me, I'm a Scorpio rising, so I'm like, oh, okay. Let me see what, you know what I'm saying? Like, let me make sure you ain't just telling me anything. And I would recommend you do the same thing. Although my integrity is 1,000, so I wouldn't just tell you anything. I think that's wrong. But they're going to cut me off in 2 seconds. So I'm going to close this down. I'm going to take a bathroom break. I'm going to open up the floor, see if anybody wants to come up, and then we're going to close this thing out. So I'll see you in 2 seconds. Okay, so we're back like we never left. I would like to open the floor just in case anybody has something on their heart that they wanted to share today. Then I want to give you that. I want to give you that time. I want to give you that space. If you have something on your heart that you want to share with the collective, then listen. The floor is yours. The floor is yours. Once I fully get back into the groove here, I will be doing Lauren Parker. Hope you're selling well. Thank you, LP. I appreciate that. Speaking of at the retrograde, that name I just said, Lauren Parker, and some other people from my tribe, I want to introduce y'all to them and some of their talents because I am surrounded by some very talented people. I have some food healers, some artists that you should really get to know. So I would like to, when they're comfortable with it, I would like to introduce them to you so that you can know some amazing people. some amazing souls, rather. Okay, so I believe this has been, right, yeah, Diana. I believe this has been a good amount of time today. I still need to get set up with some stuff here, you know, like some meticulous changing my address on certain things. But I do want to, you know, if anybody just wants to come up, say what up. If not, then I'm going to head out here shortly. Chatney, yes. Thank you for being here. Lily, I see you. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Kimmy. I love y'all too. So yeah, the video is posted now on my page. I will post it on YouTube by the weekend, and then it will be deleted from the page. But look for new content. Slowly but surely, I'm getting warmed up, dropping new content. I have some stuff that I've been waiting to dive deep with. I've been waiting to talk to y'all about. So I can't wait to talk to y'all about this new stuff that I want to talk about with y'all. One of those things being, I'm new to the page, so what do you tend to dive into? So I talk about rocks and stuff. Thank you for being an educated resource. Thank you for being here. I appreciate that. I like the mustache. It's the Astro stash. Limited time only. Yes, always supporting the fam. Check out the Patreon. Yeah, and if you cool, we gonna let you in. Patreon ain't for everybody. But one of the things I did want to talk about here pretty soon is that recently I saw something going around where people were saying that the top of the, like, you know, the pyramids that you see in Egypt? Thank you, Danica. Like the pyramids that you see in Egypt, I saw a lot of people claiming that those were the tops to obelisk. And that doesn't ring true in my soul as the truth. But again, my truth is not the ultimate truth, right? Just because I see something as true doesn't mean that the other person is wrong or my truth is superior. It's just like, this is the way I see the world, and the things that they're saying doesn't ring true with me. I happen to think that Egypt, the pyramids that you see, is only the tip top of the current history that we know Egypt to be. Egypt is really here in America. Anyway, the Egypt that's overseas, those pyramids, we're only seeing the levels of those pyramids because we are the current players of the game. If you were to go way back, you would see what we know as like bodies of waters. Those were cities once were, right? Think about floods that have happened. Think about mud floods that have happened. Every single mud flood that has happened, because it was more than one, that's a new layer, a new beginning, a new stage of the game. So how do you wipe out the game? Well, you unalive massive amount of people, you have floods, you get rid of like cities and stuff as much as you can, and then you bring in new players to the game. Like Westworld. So yeah, that's basically, well, I guess I just talked about it right there. That's what Egypt is. It's just, we are the current players of the game, and we're seeing the pyramids on the current foundation that we know as the flat plane. But the flat plane that we know is not the same flat plane that other ancestors knew. Other like predecessor ancient civilizations knew. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Okay. So, yeah, I think I want to stop right there for today. Unless y'all have any questions. But I will say though, listen, get you some friends, rent a van, and take a trip across the United States. You will see, I mean, New Mexico is beautiful. Colorado is fucking beautiful. What else? Oklahoma, it's alright. But you know, just certain places. Get on a train, take an Amtrak, and just go across the country. And you will just see so many things that will bring up questions in your mind. Especially if you're on a plane and you look down at all of these remote places where you don't see anything for miles, but you just have these random cars there. There's an entire, what I'm hinting at here is that there is an entire underground civilization still thriving in the United States today. Dave, you did Oklahoma dirty. I mean, it's all right. Mississippi too. Mississippi is... yeah, there's an entire underground civilization still thriving today. Tartaria, remnants of Tartaria. Think of, where did the Mayans go? You know what's funny, or it's not really funny because I don't laugh whenever I hear it, so I guess it's not funny, so I should stop saying that. Anyway, you know what's peculiar is that people always refer to the Mayan calendar as a Mayan calendar. Is that what it is? I'm like, where? Okay, where? So the Mayan calendar, quote unquote, is actually a map. The Mayan calendar is a map. The one thing that a lot of, and trust me, if you're new here, then you're gonna hear me talk about ancient civilizations a lot. Because the shit we doing now ain't working. Okay. So the one thing that a lot of these civilizations have in common is that majority of them left maps. Whether it be a star map, whether it be a plane map, right? They've always left a map. Majority of them have left maps with the stars. And majority of them knowingly called like these deities, they named them after the stars, but we were taught that they were people, but they deified these stars because they knew that the importance that they played. Okay? So, ask yourself just something like, when I'm doing, when I like to think about just entering a rabbit hole, I think of the most basic baby question. Like, where do babies come from? And then I just dive deep. You know? So, just think about something for a second. How is it that when we think of ancient civilization, and when I say we, I don't want to generalize like you're thinking what I'm thinking, but I'm just saying majority of people. So when society thinks about like ancient civilizations, we think like old men barefoot in the sand, like walking around saying like things like "Where art thou?" and shit. But really, it was, think of the most royal looking building in your city, bro. That was built by these ancient civilizations. And what we know is ancient civilizations aren't as ancient as we think they are. It was like yesterday. But they make up these dates and give us these times like, oh, billions and trillions and quadrillions of years ago, when really it was like yesterday. Y'all didn't hear that part though. The dinosaurs wasn't a billion, or not even the dinosaurs. It was, let me not, too much bullshittery. The earth, this game isn't as old as you think it is, y'all. Ancient ain't ancient. Ancient is actually, never mind. The future in reverse. So, how did these ancient civilizations how did they know what helicopters were? How did they know what airplanes were? No, think about this. Think about it. How did they know what airplanes were? They knew what helicopters were. They knew what spaceships were. They carved them out. You know how much wrist work that takes for you to carve something out and remember it with detail? Tesla and free energy. Yes, Tesla actually studied the Egyptians and he found that energy. Y'all know that term, ain't nothing new under the sun? Well, what about the sun? Is the sun new? Who created the sun? One thing that is best to do is to see what was the common denominator throughout all of these ancient civilizations. Which sun? All right, KB. What was the common denominator? The common denominator was sun worship. Sun worship. Right. So, think of something. Let's say you, what's the best way to get into what I'm about to say? Let's say that, you're on a merry-go-round. Let's say you're on a merry-go-round. And on one side of the merry-go-round was complete darkness. On the other side of the merry-go-round was complete light. And here's you. Every time you go around, you will see one side dark, one side light. Right? And every time that you pass each side, your mom would tell you, let's say like every round is called a day. Okay? So let's say you went around 10 times. Your mom would say, oh, wow, you did a good job. You just spent 10 days on a merry-go-round. Y'all see where I'm going with this? So here in Earth, in this realm, you have the sun and the moon both working on wireless technology, right? Both being charged, okay? One is for you to grow. One is to keep you stagnant. Balance, light and dark. If there was no moon and it was all sun, then most of us would be giants. Because the trees, and if the trees weren't cut down, then most of us would be giants. But that's a whole nother. How much time I got? Okay. So the sun and moon works off of wireless technology, and every time they spin around is called a day. So you see the sun in your area right now, and what it does, and it's like a merry-go-round. The sun is on a seat on a merry-go-round. On this side, the moon is on the other seat right next to it, because really they're right next to each other. So they go around, right? And so usually when you're younger and your pineal gland is still heavily calcified, you don't really notice the sun and the moon and things of that sort, right? But when you get older, it's like, oh, wait a minute. They told me in school that the earth was round, and on one side, let's say, this is the earth, right? And this is what they taught us. On this side, you have the sun. On this side, you have the moon. And what do? They rotate. And so here in Los Angeles, when I'm seeing the sun, let's say London is seeing the moon. That's what we were taught. But now, here in the United States, we're seeing the sun and the moon at the same damn time. So then, if we were taught that it was round and they're on opposite sides, how are we seeing them at the same time? And what is the other side of the world seeing? Okay, there's the glitch that's happening. What happens when a computer doesn't have enough bandwidth? You got too many avatars taking up too much memory, but the simulation doesn't have enough bandwidth. So now you have glitches. Okay. These glitches break down the barriers that we know as frequencies that separate you from your parallel self. That's why deja vu is happening with the extended juice that you're probably experiencing now. You're probably used to seeing deja vu for 5 seconds. You're like, whoa, that was crazy. But now when you see deja vu, it's like, bruh, I just lived in this deja vu for 30 seconds. Are you following? So, the powers to be know this. This is why the accelerated push is happening with, unaliving people, shutting stuff down, having another reset, bringing in artificial intelligence, because you can program artificial intelligence and they won't be walking around like, am I in a simulation? Am I in a simulation? But will they? Boy. Yes. Okay. Think about this. And again, I'm not going to I'm not trying to purposely have anybody up in here have an existential life crisis, right? But what are you? What's your body? What separates your body from a computer? Thank you, Lauren. Okay. Just think about how finely tuned your body is. Your body is light. Light is associated with electricity, no? Emotions, energy, emotion. Just ones and zeros in a meat suit. Okay, so think about this. When you when you have deja vu, you don't leave your body. You're in this body, but somehow you've experienced the future. You time traveled. Deja vu is time traveling. No? Okay. Deja vu is time traveling. So, if you can mistakenly time travel, does anybody see where I'm going with this? You can time travel by mistake. Imagine what you can do on purpose. Think of the most powerful Intel processor. It doesn't have shit on your pineal gland. Okay. Deja vu is hopping timelines. Exactly. Something else that is interesting, but I'll just leave a sprinkle and you can tap into it if you want to, is doppelgangers. Someone is impersonating you. Yeah, I know, they blocked me, so just report them, please. Time travel, reincarnation. Yes, because think about it, right? Time travel, reincarnation. The woman's body is a host of this electric energy that's being built up for 9 months. There's that number 9 again. And the soul enters the woman's body, like I mentioned earlier. And the body, like you become, the body is a host, right? When you come through the fetus. And so you're not spending 9 months in the astral realm. Because when you have a dream, you ever had a dream and it's like consecutive days, but really you were only down there for, sometimes like 5 or 6 hours? Okay. That's because what we perceive as time is stretched differently when you go through frequency barriers. And when you dream, you go through a frequency barrier. You probably didn't know that, but when you dream, you go through a frequency barrier. This is why your brain paralyzes your body, because your soul is on vacation. And when your soul is jolted back into your body, you get sleep paralysis. Hello? Space. What are you talking about, Chadney? We talking about space. Space is a period of time. Marvel movies tell you this info. Listen, if y'all have not watched, what is it called? Moon Knight? Am I getting the name right? Moon Knight. Yeah. Low key? Yeah. Low key as well. Man. That one right there, I was like, yo, who was writing this? And how are they like comfortable with putting this out? Because they gave away a lot of gems in all of those. Doctor Strange, Moon Knight, and Loki. I was like, wait a minute. Are they about to reset this shit right now? Because this is way too many gems. Yeah. But yeah. Here's the thing, right? Here's the kicker. You can learn all of this information, right, in this current incarnation. You can learn about the simulation. You can learn about everything that you want to learn about. But the only way that you're going to utilize this information is if you ascend, like Yogananda. Or if your soul is lighter than a feather when you leave a body here. Or if your soul matches the speed of light. Because here's the kicker. When you come back into this matrix, you forget everything. And up until the age of 7, you're in hypnosis. You forget everything. Some people remember, some babies remember, a lot more babies are remembering now, but that is a part of the game. That's why it's a game. Y'all don't hear me though. Talk to your children, man, especially if they're younger than like 7. Ask them, have they been here before? Like, if I have children in this life, we gonna have some deep-ass conversations. Like, you do something bad, I'm not putting you on punishment. We gonna talk. We gonna talk about your past life and why your ass so bad right now. Why you bringing this shit up in this life? Don't be bringing your last incarnation up into this incarnation. Me and my children gonna have some deep-ass conversation. Praying this 27-degree sun gets me the hell up out of here. Listen, I'm almost out of here. The Game of Life and How to Play It. Yo, Gloria, that is actually a great book. The Game of Life and How to Play It by Florence. I forget the last name. Florence. Yeah. Look up that book. That is a great book. Listen, I will not lay a hand on my children. We just gonna talk. Like, listen, bro. Like, calm down. The hell? You need a past life regression right now? You're only 2. What you do up in your past life? Up in that last body? That'd be crazy if you had a son that was like a... Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Gloria. Yeah. I don't have any children, but I can't imagine having these like little grown-ass souls walking around. Like, whoa. What are you doing? Wow. Yeah, but one of the key differences between us, when I say us, I mean this current civilization post Copernicus, that wretched ass. Anyway, post Copernicus and what he did. Now it is essential for us to stop the rhetoric of Stop telling our children about Santa Claus. Stop telling our children about things. Stop lying to our children as soon as they come about the womb. Right? Like, I was like low-key offended when I found out that Santa Claus was fake. I was like, Mama, you cooked me breakfast with those hands that you lied to me with? You know, like feeding me. Man, we put out cookies. Let me stop. Anyway, it didn't take me long to figure out that Santa was fake, but still. Don't lie to your children. Tell them the truth. Tell them the truth about this world, about this simulation. They can handle it. If you're telling it to them, it was in the soul contract anyway. You're not going to tell them anything that wasn't supposed to happen. You remember that scene from Loki where Loki is going to the time palace, whatever it is, and everything that Loki is saying is printed down on paper. Even the things he's going to say is printed down on paper. And even when he thinks he's about to switch it up real quick and say something different, it's printed down on paper. It makes you think about free will. It's like you might be walking down the street one day and like, ooh, let's get spicy. And then you like switch, you know, you go like left real quick to see if you're going to like, you threw off the algorithm. You like take the left turn, but really the left turn was always in the algorithm. You acting like you're faking out the algorithm was written in the algorithm. It makes you think, is life an algorithm? Is what we know as free will really an algorithm? Ooh, let me repeat that. Is what we know as free will really an algorithm? Because think about this, right? You think about somebody, you think about somebody, you think about somebody. They end up calling you. And you're like, damn, I wasn't prepared for this conversation. Can I get a second chance for a first impression, please? But like, thoughts are scary, y'all. Like, that's why I always tell people, be careful with the things that you think about, bro, because like, it will show up in your life. Depending on the strength of your frequency, it might show up later. It might show up a little, sooner. Depends on, how you are, how your body is. But the things that you speak will come into existence. That's why spelling is casting. So, yeah. Be careful with the things that you bring into existence. Your voice, your thoughts literally create your reality. I think that's where I was going with that. So your words are magic, y'all. Think about this. Your words are magic. The tongue is powerful. And these are the things that the Illuminati, this is what they get in like their little like foo-foo robes and like in a circle table and talk about, the things that we know, and they're like mad as hell because we all know now and it's not like a big club anymore. But yeah, manifestation, telepathy, telekinesis, these are all things of the mind, right? Think about this. This is what I was talking about earlier. When you think about somebody, they call you. So this lets you know that we have the ability to, let's say like you were in the 5th dimension and you think about something, it will probably appear instantaneously. But since we're in the 3rd density, 3rd dimension, what you think takes a little bit longer to appear, but it will appear, right? This is why what's the best way I can say this? This is why everybody has the ability to completely thrive in life without ever using a cell phone to navigate, without ever using a dollar to buy. Because all you have to do is think about it like it's already happened, and then it will show up. And this is connected to the game of life and how to play it. Because when you go to play Monopoly, somebody tells you, like, these are the rules. Like, you can't do this, you can't do this. If you do this, then you can't pass go, don't collect $200. But when you come to this life, nobody tells you the rules. Nobody tells you about manifestation. Nobody tells you about sex magic. Nobody tells you about just the power of your body, right? Until one day you're like, one day you're on your couch and you're just like, man, I really, really wish I had some pizza right now. I really, really wish I had some pasta right now. Next thing you know, somebody comes over and you got like a damn big ass bowl of like Alfredo in front of you because you manifested it and you just thought it was pure luck. But the more and more you do it, the more and more you're like, oh shit, wait a minute, hold up, I'm Jesus, you know? And then you realize the power of your word. And this is why it is important to elaborate on sex magic. Y'all nasty. This is why it's important to speak life into situations and into people, especially during a Mercury retrograde. I think I said all that to talk about Mercury retrograde because Mercury is the planet of communication, right? So when Mercury is in retrograde, that means that, like I was saying earlier, Mercury is the remote control for communication. Damn, I really said that I was going to finish this up like almost an hour ago and I'm still talking. What the hell? Anyway, so where Mercury is in retrograde, things become a little bit, you might think that things in your life slow down. Tell me all your freaky thoughts. The stash got y'all out here wilding. So, manifestation. You speak something to existence and it shows up in your life. However, when Mercury is slowed down, your manifestation is slowed down. And therefore, you get a little bit angry, right? I repeat, when Mercury is slowed down, your manifestation has slowed down. That doesn't mean that things are going to happen. That just means that Mercury is on lunch break and they ain't taking no more orders until it goes back on the clock. Okay? So when you go back on the clock, when Mercury goes back on the clock, then it starts to get back to all the orders that it missed, the deliveries, and then your manifestation will start to show up on time. This is like, imagine if they didn't destroy all the mystery schools when they wanted to establish religion and you were able to learn about manifestation at the age of 5. Think about how powerful you would feel right now. This is why the Egyptians walked around wearing gold, because they felt like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was worthy of wearing gold because I can think about something and it's there like within seconds. Shit, I'll be wearing gold too. I'll be wearing a golden cape right now. You probably will see me bust out with it soon. But anyway, that's what it is. That is the game of life and how to play it by Astro 5D. You have to imagine it. yeah. Not only do you have to imagine it, you just have to like know that I stay in gold. Yeah, right, LP? It just feels like it's something about gold that feels like home, like feels natural. Yeah. Only the real go. I need the tester, please. I need the tester to go beep, 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 beep. That shit's real. But yes. Just wanted to talk to y'all today a little bit about this life. And y'all think that flying cars and I see you, Kevin. Y'all think that flying cars and like cyberpunk like 2050 is like 50 years from now, really is tomorrow. By the year 2045, I mean, hell, most cities will be unrecognizable. Most cities will be unrecognizable. I stay with gold teeth. You know what? I've always wanted to gold grill. It's not like I'll wear it every day, but like I've always wanted to wear it, like just, you know, maybe in the mirror one day. Yeah, Astro Grill coming soon. But yeah, I love gold. I love gold. You know that movie? Anyway, I hope y'all know that movie. If not, then that just looks really weird. But yeah, this is the shit that I like to get in circles and talk about around bonfires, like for hours. Because when you actually, that was like church for the ancients, right? The ancients would get in circles and they would exchange knowledge. They would explore the earth and then they would come back. They would get in circles and exchange knowledge of what they have seen in the world. Gold. You know? And this is what life is like. Like, let's say I meet up with 5 of you. We all come from vastly different backgrounds, from various locations, from various different soul groups. Some of us are in the same soul group. But imagine if we got around a bonfire and I talked to you about my travels from my years of living. You talk to me about your travels. More people chimed in about their travels. What you have then is so many different truths, so many different lives. Nobody's disagreeing. Nobody's saying, oh, my Buddha in a match against your Jesus, nothing like that. But we're all just exchanging truths and getting different pictures from different parts of the world. That is the true definition of education, getting cultured, learning about the world, bringing something to the table. Literally, you bring what you have brought. Other people will bring what they brought, and the word is the food. In the beginning, there was the word, and the word was God. Y'all think that's just a phrase? No. In the beginning was the word, and the word was God. So the word is what was worshipped. When you got together with people and y'all spoke, just listening to what other people have to say is how you get through the simulation, like Zelda. That's why the word is God, because you have to listen to what other people are saying in order to learn something about your mission, to get the trajectory straight, to be aligned. Do y'all get what I'm saying here? So just you having conversation with somebody is church. Just you speaking with somebody is prayer. That's why, exactly, LP, listening is, you want to level up real fast? Listen to people. Listen to people. That's one of the best things that you can do. And that's one of the best medicines for other people. Because most people just want to be heard. If you got somebody who's without home on the street and they're asking you for $1, most of the time they just want you to say hello because they just want to be seen and heard, right? So, it is what it is. All right. Speaking of seen and heard, I need to see some food. I'm hungry. I need to make me a sandwich. So yeah, thank y'all for showing up today. Thank y'all for being here. I don't know, man. It's something about this meeting up with y'all and being able to, Taima, blessings, being able to have y'all listen, because sometimes y'all be too afraid to hop up on stage. So I just appreciate y'all listening. But just know in the future, I'm always here to have a dialogue with y'all. So today is Thursday. Tomorrow is the beginning of the weekend, or at least what we know is the weekend. Please be safe. Please be safe. Mercury's still in retrograde, y'all. Mercury's in retrograde in Taurus. So, and it's in conjunction with Uranus. So here's what I would say as unsolicited advice for the weekend. Watch what you say to people. Listen more than you speak. And listen to yourself. Listen to your intuition. Don't be afraid to reinvent yourself. Okay? That's all. I love you all. And I truly hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. And have a blessed weekend. Peace.
5D Mystery School.